Diablo is a game I played a lot as a kid. When I got my first computer, it was this shitty little Mac Mini, like one of the really old ones, like from 1995, I think, something like that. It was so old. The entire computer was the monitor. It had a carry handle at the top. You're supposed to pick up the entire thing, monitor and all, computer behind it, and one of the big CRT monitors. It was all built together, all in one big package, and just carry it around with you. And I got that as a hand-me-down from my dad in, I don't know, 2009? Maybe? It might have actually been earlier than that. And I played this game to death. Part of that was a soundtrack. I'm going to shut up now so you can listen to it. Absolutely beautiful. I just love this entire soundtrack. And this is just the game it plays. It is just the song it plays in Tristram, the main town. This is just the song, Tristram. I'm pretty sure there might be multiple soundtracks. But it's all beautiful. And I'm going to talk about this game. Let me cut to the chase right now. I'm not going to be recording a full series of Diablo. I've noticed kind of a trend of old Blizzard games, like games that are so old they weren't even designed for actual proper operating systems. This and Warcraft 2 were originally they were originally designed to launch in what's it called? They're designed to work without operating systems. If you've ever held down F8 or one of the F keys when you're starting up any Windows computer and it loads up that weird, like, bichrome menu, bichromatic menu, and you're supposed to, basically the thing you only see when your computer crashes and you need to reboot from the motherboard itself. That's what this game was designed to run off of. This and Warcraft 2. And it's playable. It is totally playable. I can go into full screen right now if I want to with this. It looked kind of weird, but it is almost impossible to record. The only reason I am doing this right now, and I'm actually looking at my desktop, most of it. The game is entirely shrunk down to a tiny corner of my desktop in native 360p resolution. Maybe 480p. I don't remember correctly. Actually, let's check. This is the mod I'm using to do it. The Direct Draw patch. This allows Diablo to run in resolutions other than the native one. I'll scroll through these now. When you're in full screen, it also allows you to pick what your refresh rate is. You can choose VSync on, all that great stuff. Very handy. There's a couple other patches. I wanted to play around with Hellfire on camera because that's a completely new experience. But the problem is, it's just impossible to record. I could do it, but I'd be limited to just this region on the screen. Maybe more if I could expand the resolution a little bit, which I probably should have done. But I felt like getting this in the most native resolution I possibly could would probably be a better move. And I might enter the dungeon. But for now, I'm just gonna walk around Tristram and talk about the game some more. So this is the game's movement. The whole game's isometric. If you hold down the button, you'll follow the cursor, or you can just click. This entire scene, as near as I could tell, was hand-painted. Maybe painted. The river always weirded me out a little bit. And, essentially, this is how you'd enter the dungeon, is you go in and you attack stuff. There's people you can talk to in the town. Let's talk to let's talk to the one that everyone knows first. You know this guy. You might not know you know him, but you know this guy.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
That's why you know him. Kane is just fucking awesome. It really is. He'll talk to you, everyone in this town will tell you lore, but he gives you the most informative stuff.
Oh, Jillian is a fine woman, much adored for her high spirits and her quick laugh. She holds a special place in my heart. She stays on at the tavern to support her elderly grandmother, who is too sick to travel. I sometimes fear for her safety, but I know that any man in the village would rather die than see her harmed.
You'll also identify items. When you go into the dungeon, you'll pick up items, and you might have no idea what they do. Like, you'll get an axe that says, oh, this is an axe of +5 attack power or something, but it won't say that. He'll say, unidentified magic item, and you bring the Kane, and for a small fee, he'll identify what it is. This can be good or bad. If it's a beneficial thing, if it's like a good thing, price goes up. Because you can sell unidentified items to, go over here, Griswold. He'll buy them. But if you identify an item and it turns out to be cursed, price goes down by a lot. Basically trash. So Griswold here is the blacksmith.
What can I do for you?
He's Scottish, I think. I never understood that. And let's listen to him talk.
Look at that edge, that balance. A sword in the right hands, and against the right foe, is the master of all weapons. Its keen blade finds little to hack or pierce on the undead. But against a living, breathing enemy, a sword will bitter slice their flesh.
Really gets into it. Everyone in this game just chews the scenery, and it's glorious. You can buy basic items. Basically nothing enchanted here. Well, yeah, nothing enchanted. This means you can't actually use it just yet. And pretty much most of the melee weapons work about the same way. You have it in your hands, you swing it, limited range. You can buy bows from him. All these are pretty different. I was hoping he had a, I guess not. I was hoping he had a saber, because this game has the most strange saber I think I've ever seen. You can also buy premium items, which are enchanted. He'll have less of these, but they're usually better. But they will cost a lot more. Case in point, 18,000 gold. I only have 100. You get gold eventually going through the dungeon, but it comes slow. You can also sell him stuff, and he'll repair your stuff back to full durability. Yes, this game is weapon durability. You also talk to this guy, Ogden.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend.
He's kind of
all was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves, or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
So that's Ogden. He is the tavern owner. And in hindsight, I think the reason he fills that role is because this is basically an RPG. It's one of the first dungeon crawlers, certainly the first one in recent memory that wasn't like just a 2D on like flat images on a screen. This is almost 3D. It's isometric, so it's pretty close. They fake it really well. These look like actual models. They're 2D, but they fake it very well. And yeah, and I get the sense that they really were trying to just adapt like homebrew D&D into 3D, and they wanted to do it their own way, and they came up with this, and it's actually a really well done way of doing it. So he fills that role. I don't think he has any other use except for talking to him. He might give you some stuff from quests. Let's see. We got Pepin the healer. I don't remember any of these guys' names. We got Kane.
What ails you, my friend?
I always got the sense he was like a pope when you talk to him. So it doesn't help, it's a very religious game. It's like all this religious iconography everywhere. And yeah, it's basically the most... I think because in every other game it isn't really mentioned, this is the most religious game Blizzard has ever released. But yeah, you can talk to him.
I really don't understand why Ogden stays here in Tristram. He suffers from a slight nervous condition, but he is an intelligent and industrious man who would do very well wherever he went. I suppose it may be the fear of the many murders that happen in the surrounding countryside, or perhaps the wishes of his wife that keep him and his family where they are.
So yeah, Pepin's a pretty cool dude. He is the nicest guy in town, and everyone in town is actually pretty nice. Like, unironically nice. This game has no sense of irony, like 0 sense of irony. I mean that. Also, something cool is when you get quests, you can actually talk to everyone about the quest, or talk to them about items or whatever. So you scroll through this, well, it would be a list, but right now we just have gossip. He'll also heal you for absolutely free. He costs nothing. You go back to town, you can always heal. You can buy healing potions, and rejuvenation, which I think is full health and mana, and scrolls of healing, which are I always get the sense they're kind of like a cheap-ass solution to potions. So instead of talking about them, let's go into our inventory here. And before I actually do that, I also like that it says the hotkeys whenever you mouse over the buttons. It actually does these screens very interestingly, because we have the full screen here, but when you click on a tab, it sort of shrinks it down to this view. So you can move and manage your inventory at the same time, which is very useful for when you actually have stuff coming at you and wanting to eat your face. Yeah, so we should probably sell that club. Let's get a look at that menu. Spells, same thing. And interesting enough, you start off as a warrior. You start off with the item repair skill. You get several books. You could fill up this whole spell book if you're a mage, or you can do it if you're any other class, but there's not a lot of point. So the item repair skill, let's equip it. Basically, makes it so if your weapon is damaged, you can repair it yourself. I think it unequips if it's fully broken. But when you do that, you reduce the max durability. So it's really, really just for emergencies. Still nice to have, though. If you go to the ones on these sides, it'll minimize it this way. This is our character. Just named him Sam, I don't know. So it gives you experience, what level they are, what class they are, what level you level up, what point you level up, all your stuff for leveling up. This will get like a plus, I don't know where the pluses are. Maybe they show up on there. But, yeah, what's this to be? There's your life, there's your mana, there's your armor class to hit. I never really got use out of that. I might get use out of it these days if I play again. Just your resistances are pretty self-explanatory though. Quest log. Oh yeah, this game has an auto map. I will be going to the dungeon, I think, because a lot of this stuff only makes sense in the dungeon. That's the main menu. So your inventory, I'm brought up again. It's actually, you have this, and you have your belt, your hotbar. I think you can use the number key, the number strip for that, but I'm not sure. But basically, you can put stuff in here: potions, spells. Don't think there's anything else that really requires it, and you just use it. Nice and simple. I think this game might have been one of the first to really do it in this sense, though. In a way, this menu is kind of the great grandpappy to World of Warcraft. I just realized that. And, yeah. So yeah, it's a really simple game. There's a few more people you can talk to in town. There's a drunk down here who will tell you interesting stuff, but I don't think he has anything terribly important to say. There's Wirt. Him I remember because he's just so weird. Yeah, you could go over here and talk to Gillian. She's mostly just more gossip, but interesting to talk to. Let's see. I could go up to Wirt, but he's kind of out of the way. He's, well, you go across this bridge and up to him, and he's the only reason to go over there. That's nothing compared to, oh, what's her name? Alicia? No. Alia? One of those odd names that starts and ends with an A. This is, you can pick up scrolls and you can learn the spell, Town Portal, yourself, and cast it, and it'll bring you out right here, which is nice, because that puts you out, like, right outside the town. Ta-da! So yeah, that's really handy. Always brings you back to that point, and then you can just step back in, and the portal's gone, and you're back in the dungeon. Doesn't stay open permanently. Over here, I think the bridge is south of here. This cow is... I think if you keep cooking on them, your character has something control, like, yes, that is a cow. Adria, that was it.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
She is just a pleasure to talk to.
There is much about the future we cannot see, but when it comes, it will be the children who wield it. The boy Word has a blackness upon his soul, but he poses no threat to the town or its people. His secretive dealings with the urchins and unspoken guilds of nearby towns gain him access to many devices that cannot be easily found in Tristram. While his methods may be reproachful, Word can provide assistance for your battle against the encroaching darkness.
I forgot she pronounces every single word with a different stress on the wrong syllable. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that's brilliant. Anyway, so she's your main spellcaster. Spell merchant. If you're a mage, you're going to be coming out here pretty often. So you can buy magical stuff from her, mostly potions of mana and scrolls of town portal. You can also buy staffs and, other various scrolls. Scrolls are basically, one-time use spells, which is kind of useful, but yeah. You also sell her stuff. I think you can sell anything to anyone, but selling stuff to the right people, like selling spellcasting stuff to her, is probably going to get you the best deal. Not that it matters, because the thing about this game is you could save your character and start a new game with that character, which essentially just resets the entire game, but you still have all your items and level and everything, so you can basically just keep grinding like that. I did that for a long time before realizing, oh, I'm not leveling up because I'm not killing stuff that gives me enough experience. And, yeah, and if you start doing that, your inventory just fills up with gold. I'm not even fucking kidding. Gold stacks up to 5,000, and yeah, you can carry multiple, you can fill up your inventory. So at some point, gold stops becoming an issue. I think it can get so bad, and because the game balances with you, eventually Griswold will start selling stuff to you, or trying to sell stuff to you, that you physically cannot hold enough gold in your inventory to buy. That's the point at which you've over-leveled. Anyway, so she'll also recharge staffs for you, because staffs have a certain amount of uses. It's pretty generous. Let's take a look. These are crap staffs, but like Staff of Lightning, 45 shots. Basically 45 lightning bolts. Zap, 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 zap. Down here. Pearl Staff of Elemental. I forget how that works, but that'll give you 56 charges. Like I said, I'm on a 360 by 480 screen. No. I forget what the resolution is, but it's tiny. Whatever the base resolution is of this video, that's what it is. But yeah, generally pretty generous. And that's really the core of the game. We'll get into the dungeon, because you can't test out combat in here. And you also walk. If I recall correctly, there's a shift. Oh. Never knew about that. You can hit Z to zoom in, apparently. That's your character. See his character. V? Oh, that's version. And that's just, okay, so that just tells you, and I assume that goes away after a little bit. B is spells. Weird. Oh, okay, so that's S is your item, is your spell. Okay, F and G are gamma controls. Don't know why they felt to put that on the keyboard. Maybe just auto. I don't know. So, at Town, you might have noticed the fountain looked kind of bad. So that tells you it's one of the quests you're going to get right here at the start. And we have the Butcher. This is actually really cool. You can tell which quests you're going to have right at the start by just what's around town. So let's talk to this guy who's lying in a pool of blood.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the lost prince. Bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this Butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
And now he's dead.
Your death will be avenged.
So yeah, that's your first major quest. The first one you're going to fulfill for sure. I also want to say, when I was a kid, God, this doorway confused me, because I could never figure out if this was meant to be a pool of blood or light coming from the doorway, because they tried to do some lighting stuff here and it didn't quite work. But yeah, that's really cool. So you enter the dungeon, and this is what the loading screens are. Super fast.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
So shift and attack, just shift attacks you in a direction, or you attack in a direction. Again, hold, move, and let's find something to fight. Because combat, when you really get down to it, boils down to you're standing here, they're standing there. Attack them. There you go. And then you pick up the items to drop. I think Control, maybe Alt. There's a button that actually highlights stuff you can interact with, items. There. Go in the dungeon. Ooh, skeleton. There we go. And just click on stuff, and it happens. Ooh, he dropped a falcon. He dropped a staff. Ooh. Like I said, I could play the game like this, but ooh, got a hat. Your inventory can fill up. There's a potion there. And as can your belt. So you want to manage it. But if you leave this level and come back, you won't. All your stuff won't disappear. It'll stay here. You can use the outside as storage too. I often ended up leaving piles of gold outside the town portal place because it's just so much faster and easier to store it. So we got a 2 to 6 here. Falcon is already better than that. Oh, Falcon for sure. So yeah, like I said, this is the core of the game. You just kind of wander in, just keep wandering through, leveling up. Yeah. Oh, big fight, big fight. Yep. You better just pick a place to stand and turn into this whirlwind of death, just clicking at everything. Ooh, hello. We got a trap or a skeleton. Yeah. I remember getting swarmed pretty hard in this game sometimes. I don't think there's a block button. I think it'll just, I think just having a shield reduces the damage you take in total hits, but there's no advantage to having to not having a shield. So you pretty much always want one if you're a warrior. Same cap, less durability. Now we got rags that aren't identifiable. If you're in a safe area, like if the level's been clear and you're feeling reasonably confident about it, you can put on unidentified stuff. In fact, you can often figure out what it does just by looking at your stats and taking it off. Ow. Fuck you. There you go. So that, maybe it might be a chance to dodge or a chance to deflect. Because I definitely heard a clang noise. And it's a very different noise from very different noise from the damage noise, which is interesting. That's your health there. They probably could have picked a better way to represent that than the big bowls of juice. But that's what they picked. Nothing wrong with that. I also like that it tracks how many kills you've gotten of a certain enemy at the bottom. This game's just full of like stuff that's cool, but doesn't really have a ton of purpose. So let's try out that auto map. I often played with this on just because this was really handy. It still is. Like I said, it fills out as you explore. It doesn't mark enemies. Holy shit, there's a lot of enemies in here. Oh god. Ah. Also, for some strange reason, the Steam overlay works for this game. It's the weirdest friggin' thing.
I can't carry anymore.
So you can level up at your leisure. I think there's a zombie still wandering around, but this is what it looks like. Let's upgrade vitality. You can't go back, unfortunately, so let's just up strength all the way. There we go. Now I do more damage. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at this inventory. Yeah, that's pretty full. Alright. You can't, unfortunately, rotate items, to my knowledge. Yeah. You can sometimes do a bit of an inventory shuffle, but for the most part, if you... Oh, you can... No, let's figure out what these rags do, if we can. The only danger of doing this is it takes up your entire screen, because you have both menus open, and stuff still moves around in the background. Well, I don't seem to be doing anything negative, at the very least. They're just broken as hell. Okay. That's the warning is from your equipment's really damaged. This game is built off of doorways. You want to find doorways, open them up, and just stand in the doorway and whack whatever comes through, because they have to come at you one at a time. Generally, the dotted borders mean you've reached the edge of the wall. Like, there's no hidden passages or anything. Barrels are a bit of a risk. Sometimes there's loot, sometimes a skeleton, sometimes they explode. So, let me see. Go out this corner. Keep moving. Turn off the map, because I imagine that's probably getting annoying for some folks. I honestly never had any problem just playing with that on. What's interesting is you can only see, like, through a certain percentage of the door. Like, I can only see what's directly in my sight line.
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
Man, I don't remember the lines. I wonder if that was a patch I never got as a kid or something. Jesus, short bow. I'm gonna move through here. Sometimes you just want to go through the door and lure them through. Entire boss rooms can be coded this way, by the way, because this game has many things that the AI are not smart in it. If you're looking at this and saying, "Oh, this looks really easy," the other reason I'm not doing a big play for this game is because it has no cheat codes, and God, the later levels are mean. Not because, you know, they're particularly badly laid out or anything like that. They're laid out just fine. No, the problem is everything is just all of the health. Just everything has a fuck ton of health. I'm not even kidding. So you whack at them for like whack, 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 whack. Meanwhile, womp, womp, womp. You're dead. So you end up having to do these weird hit and run tactics. Reading up on it now, I've learned a lot of people turn to spellcasting.
Too much baggage.
I'm like, hombre. No, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry, hombre. But, what was I saying? Yeah, so some people turn to spellcasting, others got bows. Yeah, the thing about bows is they're pretty limited. Let's head back up to town and sell some of the stuff. And as you can see, we put our sword away, because why would we need a sword out in town? And, yeah. Like, that's the main core of this game, is you go in, kill stuff, loot, come back out. And it is a really fun game. I would strongly recommend this game, because it is surprisingly simple to get it running again. It's just a pain in the ass to actually record it. Let's figure out what the hell these robes actually do.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Robes of Vitality, okay. Almost because they were kind of broken? Spider Staff, oh, okay. Must be increased mana. Okay, so both of those are good, which is good. You can repair stuff before selling it. I don't know if there's ever use to that.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Like, let's see. Let's take this. No, what's damaged? Okay, let's take this Falcon. You'd sell it for 62 now. Repair cost 43. Still 62. So yeah. Wait, no, that's a different Falcon. Oh, I don't have enough to repair it. Okay, let's take this cap here. The one that's 815. This one. Okay, so sells for 3. Repairs for 3. Still sells for 3. So yeah, no point to repairing. Let's always keep one cap that's in good nick. No point to selling. Oh no, you might not be able to sell equipped stuff. Okay. Let's sell the club. That's a piece of shit. Both of them. Mace is okay, but you can do more damage with it, you know, so it could be nothing. Falcon is probably just better in general. Short sword, same problem. Yeah, it's a cap. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, we can't actually sell that. Okay, so I was wrong about that. You cannot actually sell that to him. Yeah. Okay, so sell that one for sure. And swap out these two. I believe you can repair stuff that you are currently wearing.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
You have nothing I want. Yeah, you can. Okay. He will repair staffs, though, so that's useful. It's been like... Oh, geez, like 5 years since I booted this game at Blast, so bear with me here. You can right-click to read this, maybe? But you need 17 magic to understand it. I think. When stuff's outlined in red like that, you know you can't do anything. I can't wield a staff at all. I don't think I can read this book. You'll get stuff like armor you can't wear until you only have a certain amount of strength. So yeah, like I said, pretty traditional RPG stuff. Let's talk to the town drunk here. I kind of don't want to walk all the way back up to Adria, but God, that staff.
Drinking peace?
Hey, but God, that staff is just taking up so much inventory space. Oh, I see. So we have the butcher. Let's ask him about that.
Big cleaver, killing all my friends. Couldn't stop him. Had to run away. Couldn't save them. Trapped in a room with so many bodies. So many friends. No!
And we've given him PTSD. Or triggered it. We're awesome. I do generally feel kind of bad about that. Let's get healed at, Pepin. That's his name, Pepin. I'm right eventually.
I'm glad I caught up to you in time. Our wells have become brackish and stagnant, and some of the townspeople have become ill drinking from them. Our reserves of fresh water are quickly running dry. I believe that there is a passage that leads to the springs that serve our town. Please find what has caused this calamity, or we all will surely perish.
Okay. So he'll
What
give you
ails you,
another
my friend?
quest. Poison water supply.
Please, you must hurry. Every hour that passes brings us closer to having no water to drink. We cannot survive for long without your help.
Yeah. And actually, let's go back and talk to the town drunk again, because if I recall, he has something kind of funny to say about this. He might be the only source of humor in the entire game. I seriously mean that.
Found a fellow drinking geese?
What the did he say something about geese? Anyway, yeah, like, there's absolutely zero humor in this game except for this guy. And maybe Wirt. Maybe.
You drink water?
That was better than I could have imagined. Yep. So yeah, I might play this on my off time. I don't know. It's a big nostalgia hit. I'm probably gonna install Hellfire and play around with that. Almost definitely. But I'm not gonna be recording any of that. And I think I'm gonna call this video here. In summation, Diablo. Go play it. Good game. I think Blizzard might still have it available for download.